Is this thing on? Just kidding.
I don't know. Okay.
Right, hello.
Hello.
Buenos dias.
It's here. I'm doing it.
What has COVID taken from me?
What has COVID taken from me?
What's one thing COVID has taken from you?
I mean, I guess my hair is probably the best place to start.
Aside from the hairdresser.
COVID has taken away my ability to be with my friends in lots of different ways.
I'm very sociable, so I've missed going out to the pub with my friends.
Meet up for drinks, stuff like that, house parties, whatever else.
Pubs, clubs, going out, sitting and doing normal socialising things.
I've missed the freedom to go to a cafe or a restaurant when we choose.
To go get a bloody Nando's.
Without thinking about how many people would be there, or whether I've got a mask, or whether they're even open.
Something that COVID took from me. Well, it took away my job.
My job. My job. My job.
I had an interview, got accepted for a job middle of February, starting on the 6th of April. 2 days before I started, I got a phone call to say the job offer has been retracted. Please go back to your other company. My old company say, no, we're not taking you back. That's well within their rights.
I haven't been able to do the job that I love for months at a time because I work in a school and those have all been shut, obviously.
As a community nurse, I now have to go in and meet people with a mask covering half of my face, my visor or my safety goggles. It is really sad and it really affects the way I can work.
À cause de la pandémie, j'ai perdu la deuxième moitié de ma vie à l'université.
To have that final year to spend it with all the friends you've made throughout uni.
No tuve la oportunidad de irme a Madrid para mi Erasmus y practicar mi español.
COVID took away my graduation.
Taking a year of your 20s that everyone tells you is the best years of your life is a little bit gutting.
I've also lost the time to follow some of my hobbies.
I can't do my swimming anymore.
More football.
The art club. Pony camp.
The great experience of watching a new movie at the cinema.
To not be able to sing and perform with my friends.
In an a cappella group, that's quite frustrating.
Always having to plan out and be cautious about interacting has been probably the most difficult part of this year for me.
Unfortunately, in 2020, I lost a huge part of my mental health.
我没有办法给予自己足够的安全感，反而会时常感到焦虑以及恐慌。
I've always been relatively anxious. It's definitely been confirmed in this last year.
I feel like COVID has just put me in a box, and I don't like to be in a box, so...
We got engaged at the start of the 2020 lockdown. We've had to drastically reevaluate and delay our wedding plans, which has been tough.
Especially because we have family in Canada that weren't able to come over. And we don't know when they will be able to come over, so we don't know when we will be able to get married, at least in the way that we had planned.
COVID has taken away the chance for me to see my family abroad.
My grandmother, I guess, haven't seen me for quite a while, but she'll manage.
Not being able to hug my granddaughters.
The joy of giving and receiving, that special hug.
My sister had a little baby boy, a little Arthur, who I've not had a chance to meet yet.
Min man i ett annat land.
The ability to see my children who live in other provinces.
For what COVID has taken from us, I would say a family member was the hardest. Thankfully, it's only one.
During this COVID period, 2 of my grandparents have passed away, and we haven't been able to go home and attend the funerals, or we weren't able to say goodbye. So I think we're still dealing with that. Still kind of grieving and figuring out what life looks like without them, because we haven't experienced a lot of life without them.
But I think that there's a lot that we can take from it too.
I feel like I'm coming out of lockdown with more motivation.
You know, the world was still turning while COVID was going on. I think it's just forced a lot of people, including myself, to be productive on their own.
I've managed to actually get into the groove of working from home and find that I can sneak off and be lazy whenever I want to.
I think it's removed a lot of the distractions. It's made us really sit with ourselves.
Sometimes you need a bit of time just readjust and realign what it is that you want to be doing, what it is that you think is important.
Plan for my future going forward.
This is where I gained this ability of calculating what's best for me.
I've really got the time to think about myself, what I want with life, and also just to get comfortable being with myself.
疫情使我获得了许多与自己独处的机会。
Nastolich a bhí am hín.
more time for self-care.
That's something that's helped with me looking after myself, my mental health.
I now have a much greater appreciation for my health.
A huge and increased respect for all those workers who've kept the country moving.
An appreciation of how hard people of the NHS work.
They have just done an absolutely amazing job this year.
Si la pandémie m'a donné quelque chose, c'est une diversification de mes loisirs et mes intérêts.
Have been able to sort of focus on my hobbies and cultivate my growing collection of 26 plants in the flat. So
I've taken up chess again.
I have just graduated with my 200-hour yoga teacher training degree.
Started learning Spanish.
I started my own print company. It's called Cranky Craft Designs.
I started making sourdough bread.
Focusing on other sports that I didn't have time for. Let's play cricket, which I'd never understood before.
Physically, I've gotten so much stronger.
COVID has given me an absolute love for walking in our local area.
I love where I live a lot more now. I've had the weekends to explore the area again, seen the change in seasons.
त्यहाँको सराउन्डिङ त्यहाँको नेचरलाई चाहिँ मैले नजिकैबाट निहालेर हेर्न पाएँ हैन.
I really appreciated the silence of the modern world.
Mä oon pystynyt viettämään aika paljon aikaa mun koiran Sydneyn kanssa.
I've actually managed to make a new office friend.
I would say that I have taken from COVID the importance of the people in my life who are there for me no matter what.
I managed to spend more time with my family.
Dan COVID memberikan saya waktu untuk spending time dengan ayah saya.
Perhaps the biggest gain, I think, is the increased strength of my own family relationships.
Learning to live together and play together and laugh together.
I would argue that we probably got a lot closer and had time to have more conversations that mean that we're better prepared for when we are married.
Lots of quizzes and video calls.
We would Zoom each other and we would play games online.
a lot more people now know how to use FaceTime, so that's cool.
With church closed, it has been nice to have our services online.
The year's given me a really firm belief that Jesus is in control of my life specifically, and I've learned that that's actually a really reassuring thing.
He has shown me that there's a lot of good coming out of it and that he's still working in people's lives.
It's been a really good year for opportunities which wouldn't have come around usually because I would have been doing other things or I wouldn't have put my name down for them.
I've ended up getting a new hairstyle. It's kind of a small thing, but it's been quite nice.
I think maybe I've gained more from the experience than I've lost.
It's kind of been a blessing in disguise in many ways for me.
It's a time to realise how short life really is.
Life doesn't have to be in the fast lane all the time.
And we realise not to worry about dying. Get on with living.
Sydney luulee, että tää on paras vuosi ikinä.
COVID has definitely been an interesting season, but I am overall thankful for the memories I have made.
And hopefully that mindset of not taking things for granted will stick for a while.
Slowly, humankind is coming together to deal with a worldwide problem.
It's all gone towards a general sense that we are going to get through this, and we will.